Hello YouTube, N60 Fortress here, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in again as always, it's very much appreciated. We have got a lot to get into on this episode, so grab a cup of tea, grab a coffee, cup of juice, whatever you drink, sit back and let's enjoy this journey together. It's probably going to be my longest video ever to date, so I'm looking forward to it. We're going to IKEA to get a Billy bookcase to do the game room changes. We're going to do a CEX hunt, and I've got a little bit of admin to go through first, going through some CEX trade and just some current gaming exploits to go through with you before. So let's get into it. Right then guys, just a bit of admin to go through before we go on the trip to IKEA and then the game hunt. So first of all, I finally completed Hot Wheels Unleashed. I did mention this on the channel a week or so ago, but I finally got the Platinum trophy. The lion's share of this has been completed with my son. He's thoroughly enjoyed watching me play this game. He's still only 3 and a bit, so he's not fully playing the game or anything like that yet, but he's just enjoyed seeing the different cars, the yellow Honda, the Fiat 500s and so on, but he likes the DeLorean as well, knows that by name, the Scooby-Doo van, the Mystery Machine, and the monster trucks and stuff. He's just really enjoyed watching me play this, and it's been a really fun, enjoyable experience to play with my son and to get the Platinum trophy as well. It's my 3rd Platinum ever and 3rd this year, behind Far Cry Primal and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And yeah, really enjoyed this one, and for £10 I've had so much fun with this. Like, for your money, like probably one of the best games I've ever played for pound that I've bought myself personally. So much fun. Completing the game was fine, good, fun, enjoyable. Most of the trophies are very achievable, but there are a couple that were quite a bit of a grind, and certainly the last one, we have to get 25,000 gears. By the time you've completed the game, there's still so many more races you need to do to grind out that 25,000 gears, and it really is a grind. And if I had one thing I would say, it probably needs to be made a bit more less difficult, because it took quite a bit of grinding after completing the game to get to that level, and that shows because only 0.4% who have completed it on the PlayStation have got the Platinum trophy, so not many really. Pleased to be in that small amount, but I enjoyed this a lot. Some of the trophies were online only, so it was a bit annoying really. I had to get a month subscription on PSN again just so I could go on and get those few trophies, but it was enjoyable playing online again. I haven't been an online gamer since COVID now, so a long time really, so it was a nice trip down memory lane, I guess, to go into online gaming again. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this game, so much so that I have the sequel. I have this all installed, and I did the training on it last night, and looking forward to playing it tonight for the first time with my son, showing him some of the new cars, new tracks, and I think he's going to love this one just as much as that. And yeah, I had a look through the trophies to get Platinum on this, and it looks a lot more attainable. It seems that they've reined in the difficulty and made it a lot more achievable. And what's the best thing is some of the trophies where you have to accumulate a certain amount of coins, for example, 100,000 coins, it tells you how far you are towards getting those trophies in terms of percentage. So I got a couple of coins last night, and it told me that I was 1% on my way to getting that 100k coin trophy. And that wasn't on Hot Wheels Unleashed, so you didn't know how close or how far away I was from getting 25,000 gears, so it was a bit of a grind, and you feel like it's going on forever and you don't know where you're going, you don't know where your end, you don't know if the end's in sight, whereas at least on this you know where you're heading, and therefore, you know, you can manage your expectations. And of course the expectations are probably a lot more achievable than Hot Wheels Unleashed, the first one, because they've been reined in and the game has been made, you know, more easy for the completionist amongst us. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. I'm still playing Indiana Jones. I haven't played it as much lately. I've been doing a lot of N64 gaming. I've just completed Tomorrow Never Dies, and the video of that will be dropping, and you'll have seen that by now. And I've just completed that, so that's been taking up some of my time. But my intention is to go back to Indy. I've also been grinding on the Hot Wheels just to do a lot of the races after my son's gone to sleep, just to try and grind out that trophy. Now that's all behind me, I can turn my attention back to Indiana Jones and try and look to get this beat and ideally platinumed in the coming weeks. Really looking forward to that, because I have been enjoying this game so far. It's just been off and on in terms of my time being able to play it. Mission N64239 will still be continuing. I'm just going to pick another short game until we've beaten Indy, and then we're going to go to Banjo-Kazooie like I promised. So yeah, still playing this. Now I'm just going to go through some trade for CEX. So first of all is Jurassic World. It doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't get you much in voucher, just over £1, I think, £1.20 maybe. But the reason for that is that I've got the PS4 Lego sleeve version. I'm not about having duplicates. It's not an Essentials game, so that's going back to CEX's trade. And I have this lovely cardboard sleeve version. I think I've got about 4 of these Lego sleeve PS4 games now. I think there's 11 in total, so I might try and pick up the rest. We'll see. But I know my son will enjoy the Lego games as well, so when he's a little bit older, so they just seem like something he'd enjoy. So I feel like picking these up while they're pretty cheap still for collectors is probably a good thing. But like I said, I don't need the PS3 version anymore, so that's been traded in. Cyberpunk PS4. I bought this not too long ago actually, but I've decided to buy the PS5 version. I believe this is riddled with bugs and stuff, and I know it's probably patched and that, but I've just bought the PS5 version. I saw it on Vinted for £20, and it seems like a bargain price really. You can trade it in for more voucher than what I paid for it, so you know, it was a no-brainer to buy that. And I'm just going to trade in this nice copy because I don't want duplicate copies of the game. And though it is pretty cool, you get some extra bits with it. I just want to have the best version of the game, to be honest. I certainly don't want to have duplicates. And going back to what I said the other day about having a bit of a cleanse and getting rid of things that I don't need, this is certainly one of those things when I've got the PS5 version. So that's going into CEX's trade. And then lastly, I've got these 3 sealed PS5 games here. I bought these on Vinted. They were looking pretty cheap. It was 28 quid for all 3. We've got Summer Games Challenge. I think that trades in for about 11. Winter Games Challenge, it's about 9, I think, or maybe vice versa. And Garden Life, a cozy simulator. I imagine that's not fun at all unless you're a bit of a botanist and like flowers and planting flowers and so on. But yeah, maybe it is a bit of a therapeutic game and I should keep it. But yeah, this trades in for 14, I think. In total, it trades in for 34 for all 3. I paid 28 delivered, so a nice £6 accumulation in credit in voucher. So you've got to take what you can. It's nothing to shout home about in terms of profit, but that £6 can get me a game, maybe 2 PS3 games that I need in the Essentials range. So, you know, I saw them cheap, so I just took the opportunity. I'm pretty sure there was more trade, and I think CEX dropped one of them by £1 or 2, or 2 of them by £1, so it was a bit lower by the time it got to me. So it just goes to show you've got to be careful. Arbitrage opportunities aren't always forever. CEX do change their prices quite frequently, and any arbitrage can be eliminated pretty quickly or certainly reduced, so you have to be careful. But yeah, I don't think any of these 3 games are ones that I'd be willing to keep or play in my collection, so these are solely to flip back into CEX, build up a bit more voucher. It's only £6 extra, but it all goes to a good cause in building the collection up and making it cost less than what it actually cost me. So yeah, without further ado then, let's get down to IKEA, and then we'll do the game hunt after that at CEX and get this lot traded in. This is it guys, we finally made it to IKEA. Let's get that bookcase sorted and finally do these game room changes that we've been talking months about getting done. Let's get on with it. Considering we're out this neck of the woods, it felt appropriate to check out Old Skool Gaming. Nice little retro gaming stuff. They've got a decent amount of supply in. Hopefully some games that I'm looking for, like some PS3 Essentials that are cheap, and see what box N64 they've got just in case, you never know. Ah yes, just what I wanted to see, a good selection of PlayStation 3 Essentials games. Looking to add a few to my collection, and no doubt I will be grabbing some of those. The overall supply in this shop was really good. Lots of hitters across all systems, lots of big box games there, lots of PS1, Mega Drive, SNES, a great range of boxed Nintendo 64 games, though none that were an upgrade for me personally, but I set the standards so high now. Look at this lovely PS1 kiosk. You got that not long ago. What a great touch. Some high-hitting, heavy-hitting Super Nintendo games there. Rare Super Nintendo cardboard, the Mega Man games. Very expensive nowadays. There was a great big selection of PS2 as well, and other systems I haven't filmed, all the Xboxes, PlayStation 4 and so on. You name it, they've got it at Old Skool Gaming. Shout out and thanks again to Rich, a lovely gentleman who runs this store. Really nice chap, and it's always great to have a catch up with him, and he always does you a good deal. So that is it, guys. We are back from IKEA. We're back from Old Skool Gaming in Brierley Hill. If you're ever in the area, West Midlands, it's worth checking out Old Skool Gaming. Great little shop, full of retro. They have cards there as well if Pokemon cards are your thing. But yeah, lots of games. I didn't get an awful lot of footage. I got there with only half an hour left before they closed. I wanted to make sure that I had a good look round. I had a good chat with Rich, the owner, top bloke, let me film a little bit. And so, yeah, I wanted to enjoy my time there and I didn't want to just spend it all behind the camera. So, yeah, I got a little bit of footage for you guys so you can see what it's all about. They also have an awesome Mega Drive section, which I didn't manage to get on film. I forgot, and I only realised when I was coming home that I didn't get any capture of that, but it's really good. Trust me, there's a great selection of games there. I did come home with a stack of games from there, and yeah, it's kind of crazy, really. So let's just get straight into what I picked up before we get into building the Billy bookcase and making those game room changes at long last. So, what a stack we picked up. It's £40 spent. It's a lot of money, but when you totaled up all the individual costs, he did me a great price. And this PS3 Essentials route seems to be a slippery slope, but I think they'll look great on display in the new cabinet. With the red PS3 console, it's kind of like a temptation to see how many of them we can get, but we'll see where the journey goes. So first of all, I picked up Max Payne. It's one of my childhood games. I don't think I ever completed it, but I remember I enjoyed it. I'm really keen to sort of delve into this and play it again and try and complete it and beat it. The only reason I don't have it anymore is because when my PS2 blew up, I eventually got rid of all my PS2 games, and it's kind of a big regret of mine, really. I've had to go out picking up all my old PS2 games again, and this was one that still was outstanding. It's fully complete. Yeah, it's not absolutely minty condition, but it's all complete and all there. Every time I've seen it in CEX, it's always been platinum or something like that. So I just decided to bite the bullet and get this copy. I got The Last of Us remastered in the PS4 hits, Red Spine again. So yeah, heard a lot of good things about The Last of Us game. So I'm looking forward to getting some time to play this at some point and getting my teeth into it and seeing what it's all about. But because it's part of the PlayStation hits range, I felt compelled to get it. I know it's got an even better release on the PS5, but you know, I feel like this is nicer to have in my collection, and then obviously I'll get the part 2 on the PS5 or something like that. Then it's just a bunch of PS3 Essentials games. Nothing too amazing to shout about. Rayman Legends, I think I bought that on the PS4 hits not long ago, so it's kind of weird having it, 2 copies of it, and also an inferior copy if you like. But it's in the Essentials range, it's in pretty nice complete condition. All of these have got the Essentials discs with them as well, so there were a couple others that I didn't have, but they didn't have the Essentials discs, so I left them behind. But yes, so Rayman Legends, Dead Space 3, this one's brand new and sealed. This is probably not the most expensive one I got, it was £8, but I thought brand new and sealed, you can't really go wrong for £8 really. I don't mind paying more than the CEX price if it's brand new and sealed. The first Infamous game, this was £4. I picked up Infamous 2 the other day from CEX, so nice to have the first one. And yeah, again, complete with manual and the correct disc. So yeah, man, again, PS3 Essentials, lovely condition, complete with the disc and manual. Can't go wrong with that for £2. Saints Row, the full package, the Ultimate Saints Row compilation. Don't know what that means, whether there's multiple games on there or not. Let me know if you've got any comments on any of these games, by the way. Sleeping Dogs, it's been given a 9 out of 10. Welcome to Hong Kong. This looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to put this in the new PS3 and give it a go. Looks good. And Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I thought this was a good deal. It was sealed, but I read the top bit there and it says the best of PlayStation. It was in English. I thought, oh great, it must be English. Next line down, it's foreign. So I don't know if anyone's got any sort of, did they do an English version of this? And if they did, I'm going to have to sell this on and buy the English version, because I don't like having foreign games in my collection, and I've let slip here. I think the fact that it's got that bit in English, it's thrown me off, and I've not looked at the rest, being in a hurry. So just be careful, guys, when you're looking out. Just make sure the entire box is in English if you're as fussy as I am. I'll keep it in the collection for now, but I will of course be looking for an English copy, unless this is a European exclusive or something like that, which I doubt, in the Essentials range that is, but I doubt it is. I think this has just been bought and traded in mistakenly, really, or like, yeah. But I looked on eBay and there are a few sealed foreign copies like this floating around. So it's quite plausible that somebody mistakenly bought it for their collection and then traded it in. But yeah, being a foreign version, I'm only interested in the English version, so I'll have to swap that out at some point. Right, so without further ado then, let's get into doing some changes in the room and get that Billy bookcase built and get all these games up on display. Let's get into it. Right, good morning guys, it's the next day. Really happy with how this cabinet looks now. Got my coffee in my Laurel and Hardy mug. Best comedy duo of all time. If you know, you know, right? If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I'm trying to build this place up. And yeah, so the Billy bookcase cabinet is now built. Just some housekeeping. So the reason why I have to have the doors on is because I've got a son and I've got another child on the way. You know what children are like, they want to pull things off the shelves, so those N64 games would not last very long. They'd be all over the floor, they'd be ruined, they'd be trodden on, wouldn't last at all. That's why I have to have the safety catch on as well to stop the doors from opening. The cabinets are fixed to the walls. It's strongly recommended that you do so. First and foremost, to stop them tipping over. But yeah, due to the sheer weight that goes within them, certainly with the N64 library, for example, there'd be a potential for that to tip. Now, the only drawback to doing this is because of the skirting, they don't sit fully flush with the wall. You can kind of see there's a very slight angle towards the wall, and basically where the cupboards go together, therefore they're not perpendicular all the way, which is slightly annoying, but to the naked eye from a distance you can't overly tell. But it's just one of those things really. There's no other way of getting around it that I can think of. So the next problem is we've got these shelves. I went for the glass shelves to match the 64 cabinet. Trouble I've got with that is it was more expensive, £10 a shelf for the glass ones. So it made sense to put the Player's Choice N64 games on the top shelf of this new cabinet, so they're sort of stored rather than just sat on the top of a shelf. Makes it easier to dust up there as well now. And so the next issue is then, at what sort of point do you space your shelves out? And that obviously depends on the contents, right? So what have I got that's going in there? So this is just going to be like a Mega Drive display up here, so they're not going in, and they've got hang tags anyway, so that'd be just more problematic. But I want to put in, obviously the top row is going to be the Player's Choice N64 games, so that'll just be the same height as this shelf, the second one possible. There's just one stud hole there, and then it's the next one down. And then these are the sorts of games that will be going in. So I'll have a row of Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, which is like an awkward DVD size, PS3, PS4 and PS5. So yeah, it's just about spacing that out and then wondering how far we'll go down or up, but I guess I'll start top to bottom really, I guess. And it's about deciding the order, you know. It'll look a bit of a mismatch if you just go N64 straight to like PS4, and then, you know, you've got to have some sort of sequentialness about it. So that's something I've got to decide what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm just going to start putting them on and then just see how it looks really. Obviously there will be potential to grow. My PlayStation 1 collection's not that large. There is another stack somewhere. So, you know, imagine those going across a row. They'll probably be spaced so you can see some of the artwork, but that'll definitely leave some room to grow, I guess. Might add a few more titles. Whereas other ones like the PS3, there's more than enough of those. So yeah, we'll just start putting it together and see how it looks. I'm off the park run now. I'll do park run. Then I'm going to CEX. Then we'll get back and see how the shelves are looking at that point. I'll just get on with it, and then I'll show you how it looks by the time I've finished it. So yeah, let's get on with that then. Guys, this wasn't supposed to be part of the video, but I've just done park run this Saturday morning and got a sub 19 minutes 5k, 5 kilometers. An amazing achievement. First time I've ever done this. I was in touch and distance previously, and finally been working hard and finally done it. 18:55. I'll show you on my watch. Delighted with that. Just shows what happens if you believe you can achieve, right? Back to the gaming. Right then guys, welcome to Redditch. I've just done the Arrow Valley park run. Oh, lovely villa top there, by the way. And so I thought I'd check out the Redditch CEX while I'm here. I've traded in my games that I needed to trade in here. Got my voucher. And yeah, while I was here, I was always going to have a look round, wasn't I? I didn't get an awful lot of footage. You know, I've taken you on a game hunt already on this video. But I was really impressed with the presentation of this store. They've changed it around since I last came. And yeah, it looks a lot neater now. Everything's sort of in its place. Initially I was like, where's the retro? But I eventually found it in a cabinet. But yeah, that Mass Effect box set looked pretty good. There was a couple of Essentials games here that I didn't have. I think one or two of them didn't have a manual, so I was like not sure. One I took to the counter and it didn't have the right disc. But that Skyrim did, fortunately, so I did grab that. There's some nice Nintendo cardboard here, Super Nintendo, N64 and Game Boy Advance. Here are some more expensive PlayStation 3 titles. And yeah, look at this Project Justice on the Dreamcast, £160. Cooler World on the PlayStation 1, £140. Some high-hitting expensive games there, really. This lovely Steelbook on the PS5 looked good. So yeah, pleased with my Saturday morning so far, and walking away with an Essentials game that I paid for with a voucher, so no financial outlay on the day. And yeah, really happy with my trip. I thought I'd just show you this on the way out. This is a new look store in the Kingfisher Centre. This used to be Woolworths back in the day, and it's where I got my GoldenEye sleeve Nintendo 64 from in the 90s. Such a nostalgia blast looking in, because the inner of the shop looks identical. I can see where I paid for my N64. Nostalgia, man. Right then, guys, the first shelf is up. I think it's looking pretty good. Got all 10 Player's Choice N64 titles there, and they look and fit quite well. You can see just enough of the artwork. I think if there's more than 10, you might struggle to sort of get any more a decent amount of artwork on show. Of course, you'd like to see more, but it's certainly better than just having them side on at least. But I think that works well, having them at the top and just continuing the 64 there. It now frees up the top so I can give it a good dust, because you'd be surprised how much dust collates up there. And yeah, I've got to get the next shelves in, so I'll probably go Dreamcast next, because it's the same sort of era as N64, and then we'll just go on to PS1 and work our way down all the way to 5, and then that'll leave space at the bottom for sort of ad hoc stuff, I guess, like original Xbox, if there's any more of those games to be picked up. I mean, my originals I only have my discs because I got rid of all the cases, but that's something for another day, whether I decide to go and get the cases for that again. I'm not sure. It's the same with 360. I have all my games in discs in wallet, but I'm not passionate enough about those systems to get them back in the boxes, I don't think, really. But yeah, it'll leave room to grow with the PS3 Essentials, and we'll just see how it looks. But yeah, it'll certainly free up space over here as well for the Mega Drive display. And yeah, it's looking good so far, so really pleased with this sort of leap into getting another cupboard. The doors open all the way fully with no clashes with that cabinet. Obviously you can't have them both open at the same time, but that's okay. And I think just it'll provide a nice backdrop for filming as well. You know, you can sort of like film from here and have both sort of on display, me in the middle. So yeah, so far so good. Really happy with this so far. Right then, guys, after all that work, relatively happy with how we're looking at the moment. It can't stay like this, and I'll sort of go into that shortly. But let's talk about the positives. So the positives are that the Player's Choice are now housed. I think the Dreamcast looks nice there. The Essentials. The good news here is we've got some room to grow. Not much, but we have. I think the controllers look great there. We've got room to grow with PS1 if we want to extend that. There's a few at the back there, but eventually I guess that'll just be a whole row of side by side. So nice bit of potential there to grow. Same with PS2. Got a little bit of growth there. I'm not massive on PS2. I've got most of the games I want now. So just a few extras we can add when and if we come across them. This is where the issues start coming in. So we've literally got next to no growth for PS4. PS4 hits, no more room to grow, and there's still 6 of these Lego sleeved games, I believe, that I don't have. I think, well, 5 maybe. I think there's 11 in total. And I've got 6, so I think there's 5 more of those. So yeah, we don't have much room. PS5's great. Got loads of room to expand. There's the Cyberpunk that arrived the other day. So that's why I traded in the PS4 version. Really liking my PS5 collection. Small, but there's a lot of good games in there that I'm enjoying, have enjoyed, or hoping to enjoy in the not too distant future. The trouble we've got here is this shelf at the bottom. It's one stud too short to house another PS4 or 5 or 3 game. Makes it almost dead space. So what the solution down the line would be is we'd have to lose the controllers. They'd have to go back over here somewhere. We'd have to lose Dreamcast. That would have to go back over here as well, unfortunately. It's a shame because I like the blue contrast. And then when you do that, what that means, or we'd have to get rid of the N64 and put them back on the top of there. But I don't like the idea of doing that at the moment. But once you do that, basically, if we took the Dreamcast out, for example, and we lost the controllers, we could move each shelf down by 1 stud. And by doing that, we can essentially get another row of PS3 in here. So it allows the Essentials to keep going. And you could then put the PS2 down here, which would only need up to that stud there. So you'd have PS2 moved up. Another row of PS3 up there. And then down here, you'd have your PS1 still. You'd be able to move each of these up by 1. and that way you'd have PS4, 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 and then PS5. So you basically create a whole new row. So that's probably a project for the future. It's probably what we're going to have to do as we grow these sort of PS3 and PS4 hits and essentials collections, I guess. But I'm enjoying the way it looks at the moment, so you can enjoy it for the here and now. But as collections grow, it's nice to know there is some room for expansion, but unfortunately they are limited in the space that you've got. You know, when you buy these bookcases, you think I've got an infinite amount of space, but you really don't. It really doesn't take long to start filling shelves. And this is with the glass shelves as well, which are thinner and more optimal in my opinion. If you go for the standard wooden shelves that are like this throughout, obviously you lose space because of the thickness of the wood, and over the course of the whole bookcase in the N64 library, for example, you lose a whole shelf. So I've got one extra shelf worth of games, i.e. the exclusives up there, whereas people who have got the Billy, they don't have that if they've got the wooden shelves, and they only have enough for just about the whole library. And furthermore, you don't have the gaps above the games, so a lot more difficult to get out with your fingers, and you risk damaging the cardboard. So we take for granted how good the Billy is for the N64 library and how optimal it works, but unfortunately when you have collections like this which are a mismatch in size, it becomes more problematic. But it'll be a work in progress, and I'm sure we can move things around at some point and get this looking better than it does at the moment. But I'm happy with it for now, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll just go into a bit of an outro, and I'm just going to talk about what's coming next. And obviously this will be ongoing progress on the channel as I pick up more games that I want to add to this collection, and then we work out how to best display it going forwards. So that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, something slightly different this time around. I am going to try and do some more videos like this down the line because I know people like this sort of thing. Obviously I can't do it all the time. I'm not going on game hunts every week. I'm not going to IKEA every week. There's not going to be massive changes every week, but every now and then when there's substantial changes that need to be made, I might do an update, bring you on more game hunts and so on when I do go on them. But yeah, really happy with the progress. Obviously this is not the finished article, like I said, but it's the foundations now that can take me on that new trajectory to start filling out some of this space in a sort of nicer way. And obviously longer term we're gonna have to shuffle things around a little bit, but that's not a problem at all. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy it, please whack a thumbs up. It really helps me out, push me into the algorithm. I need to get more new eyes on the channel because it's not happening enough at the moment for whatever reason. Drop a comment, let me know what you think of the display, what you think of the games, what would you do. The next video that will be coming to the channel, we're going to do full circle. So I said about completing Hot Wheels, working through Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, so I felt appropriate. So the next episode of Mission N64 239, I'm going to play and review Hot Wheels Turbo Racing on the N64. It's one that I'm not putting much time into in the past, so it'll be nice to play a game that I haven't really played before and delve into it and find out more about it, and then bring it to the channel and tell you guys all about it basically. So yeah, looks like an interesting one. This copy is in real beautiful condition, so yeah, it's a real nice looking game on the N64, and it's not the easiest game to come by. So yeah, looking forward to bringing a review on this to the channel, probably the week after this video drops. And yeah, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps me out. We're trying to build the channel up, like I said, get more of you along to see the journey of trying to complete and review every N64 game. But I also do other gaming stuff as well. It's not exclusive N64 content on this channel. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.